Yeah, so one of the things that I've thought about is what does it mean to be HCAC commissioner? I feel like that's a title that has like a big presence to it, stature to it, but maybe people aren't as familiar with what that actually means. Could you take us through kind of the responsibilities that go with that?
Yeah, it's like the hardest question you get in my life, right? Is what does a commissioner do? So honestly, it's also funny when you tell someone you're a commissioner, the thoughts that range in their head are pretty interesting. Is that an elected city position? I've gotten that. So is that a full-time job? And by that they mean, literally a city commissioner is usually not. It's an elected position that's kind of an aside. So they don't understand that like this is an actual job. And then you've got the jokers that think like, oh yes, I'm the commissioner of my fantasy football league. It must be about like that, right? So and then you've got everything in between. And the truth of the matter is, being a commissioner of a small college conference, what I always say is like, I have the same job as a Power Five commissioner minus the 85 staff members, right? So there's a couple of us at our office, and I have an amazing associate commissioner that does a great job with us. But we do everything from overseeing the supervisors of our officials and making sure that games are set. A day like today, which is heading into a rainy weekend, I've spent a ton of time on the phone with baseball and softball coaches talking about, what are the policies with moving our games? Where can we move them? What do I need to be concerned with? Um, so we do that. We set schedules. We handle disciplinary issues. I dealt with a disciplinary issue this morning. Looked at a tape of an unfortunate issue during a game. So we deal with those kind of things. I think the most intriguing part of the job is that I report to. In our case, we have 10 schools. I report to the 10 university presidents. So I always joke and say, if things are going well, I have my own self as a boss, and I kind of say to the 10 presidents what's going on. And if things are going poorly, or if one of those presidents gets sideways with another, or there's some issue, I have 10 different bosses, and they're all very strong in their leadership and how they think things should be done. So, in truth, at the end of the day, both the approach I take from a cultural standpoint and what I try to be um, as just kind of a leadership role is just be a servant leader. I'm here to help our 10 schools be successful in conducting their athletics and get as many games played as we can. And that's been extremely important during the past year of COVID. But honestly, that's kind of how I see it is we administer contests together and really kind of see our ads more as peers. Yes, it's a regulatory position from some time to time, but really for me it's is working with our athletic directors and coaches to make sure we can have competition and that that's regulated fairly and that we move forward. So it can be a lot of fun. Every day is a little different, so hopefully that gives you a sense of it.